Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of PharaohCast, where in today's episode, we sat down with Valerie Walters, and she explains to us what it's like to be a group fitness coordinator at Crunch, as well as winning a bodybuilding competition that she didn't expect to be in, as well as what it's like to be a personal trainer for 20 years. You're going to love this episode. Welcome to PharaohCast, the official podcast of Pharaoh Fitness, where we build warriors, kings, and leaders both in and out of the gym. I'm your host, John Martin, founder of Pharaoh Fitness. Every month, we sit down with athletes, coaches, and fitness professionals to dive into their stories, their struggles, and the strategies that shaped their success. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, and like on all social media platforms. Links are in the description. Okay, and we are rolling. Okay, excellent. So, Valerie, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the podcast with me and Tom.
You're so welcome. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, Tom had told me some really good things about you when he'd met you at Crunch and said, "Hey, man, let's get her on the podcast. I think you will really like talking to her." So I said, hey, let's bring her out here. And, he was explaining to me that you are the group fitness coordinator at Crunch.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay, can you tell me what's it like being the group fitness coordinator? What do you guys? Yeah,
It's like herding cats. I'm just kidding. No, it's a blessing because, or at least the way I look at it is, it's my job to be able to fill up their cup so that they can pour into the members. Not many people know this, but Crunch actually started out as a group fitness boutique in New York.
Oh, wow.
So, which is where my heart is in group fitness, because that's where I started out. And so they are very group fitness minded, member focused, and it just kind of spread from there, which is why I kind of got on board with.
I got you. Are you sort of in charge of the other group fitness instructors that maybe do different classes? Do you coordinate who does what on which days, things like that?
That is correct. As the coordinator, I'm in charge of scheduling, hiring, recruiting instructors.
Oh,
and
okay.
the great thing about Crunch is it's not just in one room. Depending upon the club, they have multiple studios. For example, Bell Road, we have a hot yoga studio.
Yep.
Regular group fitness. And then we also have our HIIT zone, which is incredible. It's very similar to CrossFit or functional fitness.
Yeah.
And then depending upon which location that you're at, for example, the Priest Lake location, we have a ride. So we have a spin studio there.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that there. Yeah.
Yes. It's so cool. It's like a party room.
Oh, no. I love it. It's awesome lighting in there too, by the way.
Very
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. No, that's very cool. That's very cool. So I also saw like on your Instagram profile, you're a lead event planner. Is that a little bit different than the group fitness coordinator? What is the lead event
Lead events.
planner?
Okay.
Yes.
So funny story. My best friend actually, she owns an event planning company. Her name is Penny Haas.
Okay.
We do weddings, corporate events,
Ooh.
fundraisers, retreats, things like that.
Oh, nice.
Yes. And so I started off working at a university doing events and corporate events for them. But then when I met her, she brought me on to assist her. And then from there, I branched out and started working with her and then several other wonderful coordinators and planners in the Nashville area. And then that's how I wound up being a lead event planner for another company.
Nice. I just got back from my wedding.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you so much. And, we, my wife's mother was basically our wedding planner.
Really?
And and there's so much that goes into it.
Yeah, what could go wrong with that?
Right. Like all the way down to like what kind of napkins are we using at like the reception?
Correct. And how they're folded and who puts them out and who cleans them up and where they go and what color they are. Like it's And these are the little things that, as a bride and groom, you really don't want to have to be thinking about that at all. And you
Right.
shouldn't have to.
Right. No, wow, that's just, there's so many details behind it, and we have a friend, Chloe Jackson, and she also has she's a wedding planner as well. I don't know if you guys know each other, but I think you said Penny Haas.
Correct. Haas.
I think I've seen her like on Instagram.
Yes.
Like, I think it's like in the same social circles,
Probably.
just because we know some wedding planners and event coordinators and stuff like that.
She's amazing.
So, wow.
And
Okay.
then I also work with Christina Logan Design.
Okay.
And that's who I do lead event planning for. Is with
Okay.
her. So it's just different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
It's like when you visit different gyms,
Yeah.
like Tom was saying earlier, they have a different feel.
They do.
Right? So it's about finding the right fit for you.
It is.
But where that ties into being a group fitness coordinator
Yeah.
is with the scheduling crunch. Like I said, they're very group fitness minded.
Yeah.
We do a lot of events. Like we just had a huge open house. We had free giveaways. There were vendor booths. We had a DJ. We had a drone flying around taking video.
Oh, nice.
And it's open to the public. Like I said, they're
wow.
very member minded.
Yeah.
Which is part of why
Community minded,
Yes.
Let's bring in people that aren't members, let's get them on board to see, all what the fun's all about at Crunch, and get them excited about that. That's really cool. Are there any upcoming events with Crunch?
Actually, we're having a couple of things over the next several months, which is part of my job. I plan events and try to plan them out for the next 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
We're having a Let's Glow With It party. We're having in April, actually, another Easter event. And of course, these are open to the public as well. Bring a friend. And we just have a good time. Exercise doesn't have to be torture. It should feel uncomfortable, but not necessarily painful.
Mm-hmm.
And so at Crunch, we make it fun.
Yeah.
So you're having a good time. You're getting healthy, losing weight, or whatever your goal is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is part of my job as coordinator to plan events.
Yeah.
And do things like that. We're also doing a big fundraiser for ALS, which is called Augie's Quest, and it's going to be nationally televised. That's May 9th.
May 9th.
Yes, we'll be doing it at both locations.
Okay.
As well. So.
May 9th at Crunch on Bell Road and Percy.
At the Priest Lake location
Priest
is
Lake.
on Murfreesboro Pike. Yeah.
Okay, Murfreesboro Pike.
Antioch.
Okay, wow, that'll be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Excellent. I've seen some crunches down in Florida. They put on like their own little bodybuilding show. And, I think it would be cool, like me and Bill's a trainer over at the Bell Road location. And I said, wouldn't it be cool to put on like a little amateur bodybuilding show at Crunch?
So, it's funny that you mentioned that. I just had a member approach me and ask me about that. And back when I was competing, I became really good friends with Becca and Alan, and they're the NPC chairs for the state of Tennessee.
Oh, fun.
And one of my plans, my goals within the next 6 months is actually to have a meeting at the Bell Road location. And typically what they do is they come in, they bring in IFBB pros, they bring in nutritionists, they go over the rules and regulations of NPC, what to expect, how to get support, what the rules are for the different divisions, heights, weights, things like that.
Love it.
And then they do a demonstration. So, and I've noticed in particular, well, actually at both locations, there are a considerable amount of competitors. And I thought, okay, this is a need here that I really would like to fill.
Yes.
And so.
Oh, absolutely. If I can help you in any way, please let me. I'm obsessed with bodybuilding. I have a huge I've never competed. People have always asked me, man, you got to go compete. I'm like, too much body fat right now, but let me get to single digits and then we'll do that. I got to single digits one time. And then I went back to double digit body fat. But, but yeah, everyone's like, hey, if you really like it, get into competing. And I just, haven't done that. Haven't really found a show close by. I know there's some in Chattanooga. I think there's one coming up in Chattanooga in November that my buddy's going to do. But if we could get more shows across all divisions, all levels, or, whatever, we could get more shows. We get more people competing, more people being more involved with it. And I just think we'd totally grow that. So no, that's super.
What made you decide to compete? If you don't mind my asking.
For me, what got me into like just lifting weights and stuff, or like Oh gosh, it's for me it's also kind of like a personal story. Like lifting weights, like I'd always like was very interested in sports growing up. I was kind of athletic, in my teens and a little bit in my 20s, and then sort of fell out of that with like college work. You're working 9 to 5 every day. Life gets away from you for a while. And I'd gained a lot of weight.
Mhm.
A lot of weight. Back in 2020, during COVID era, I was 270 pounds and just lots of body fat, just completely wasn't moving around. And, I got tired of like all the fat jokes.
Mm.
I got tired of the fact that I was out of breath every time I was trying to tie my shoes.
Yeah. I was
My
gonna
s-
ask how you felt.
and like, hearing like fat jokes and just knowing you're fat and you're struggling to do these things, it turned, it sparked it flipped a switch for me, And I just said, you know what? Time is going to be passing no matter what. I can either be spending that time making myself better
Mhm.
or not. The choice is mine. And I said, if time's going to pass anyways, I might as well make that count. I might as well be productive. And as the days stack, your results stack. And you
Mhm.
just keep growing and growing, and you fall in love with the process
Sure.
even more. So that's sort of like a long-winded version of like how I got into fitness. Just basically, I once was fit at one time and then let myself go. And
It
then
happens.
just, the pressure from society, it just the opposite sex or something, like you're not good enough. You're not that great.
Mhm.
Hearing that stuff, it's all that stuff.
That's painful.
It's extremely painful. And so that kind of brings me to my question for you is, you've been a certified personal trainer for 20 years. How did you get into that?
Kind of fell in my lap, actually. I actually was working for the district attorney in Rutherford County, and I went through, and this is personal, I went through a very painful divorce, and I got back into fitness as a way to cope with the stress. I had 2 young kids at the time, so I was a single mom, and I was like staying up till 3 or 4 in the morning cleaning my house. And I was like,
Yeah.
this is not healthy. And growing up, my favorite aunt she was a group fitness instructor, and I would
Aw.
spend summers with her, and she's just a wonderful person. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do something that makes me happy, makes me feel safe, and it's good for me, a great way to deal with the stress. And so I started working out. I'm just going to group fitness classes, and of course, I lost a bunch of weight just from the stress and,
Yeah.
of course, being active. And
Yeah.
my kids were young. So as a female, after you have kids, it typically takes about 2 years for your hormones to
Kind of reset or rebalance.
regulate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then it all just started falling off. And then I started educating myself about lifting weights.
Yeah.
It was something I was always interested in. I started doing that. And that's when I really saw my body start to change. So it wasn't that I was just, okay, now I'm skinny again. I started to get shoulder caps. My glutes were more round. I could see definition. I was like, huh. And so the more I did this, people I was consistently training, 5 days a week, 6 days a week, eating up, hers and even men's muscle and fitness. I would just
Yeah.
like
Oh,
inhale
yeah.
these.
Yeah.
And people continue to come up to me and say, hey, are you competing? I'm like, what are you talking about? I had
Right.
no idea. I didn't even know what it was. And then I got approached by a trainer at the gym I was at the time. He was like, you really should consider competing. And I had never been to a competition, never seen one. And I was like, all right, what the hell? I have nothing to lose,
Sure.
I was like, this will be a great goal for me to have.
Sure,
I had
yeah.
never been on stage in a bikini before in my entire life, even though I had been active in sports. I never did anything like that.
Right.
Even though I had been on stage as a performer, I was an opera major in college.
Oh, wow.
Right, completely different.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Right.
lots of hats. But I was like, okay, let's just do this. And so I trained for about and did meal prep for about 6 months, and got on stage. And my first show was in Chattanooga. It was the NBC Battle at the River.
Okay.
And I won my division, and then I won the whole thing. And
Wow.
I was not expecting anything other than just to get on stage and have the experience.
Other than a thank you for competing, and then look at you.
Yeah.
Wow. So you came in essentially completely blindfolded and walked away with 2 trophies. If you got the one overall and the one for your division.
Correct.
That's unbelievable. Wow.
Yeah.
So you said you did prepping for 6 months?
Yeah.
For
That's okay.
what was the meal prepping like? How many calories were you eating? Like, do you remember, like, were you tapered down as you got closer to the show? Were you just removing carbs or kind of?
Correct.
Yeah.
We did a number of things. It was a lot of high protein, starting off with carb cycling. My calories started off at around 2,200. And obviously the closer we got, we pulled the carbs, pull the calories. And I would say by the last 2 weeks, I was probably down to about 1,200 to 13 calories.
Wow.
Yes. That's a whole other story.
You were starving. Yeah.
I was.
Yeah.
I was. And of course, I had plateaued. And at the time, I had become, pretty decent friends with Flex Lewis because he came to our gym.
Wow.
And so when I saw him, I was like, hey, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Because, again, being a newbie, I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
And I had been stuck. And then my coach at the time kept removing calories and cutting calories and adding cardio, which,
if you're doing
now
both
as
of
a
those,
highly educated trainer, I know that was like the worst thing I could possibly do, especially as a female, to stress my body, spikes my cortisol levels. It puts you in like this funk and you're burning muscle instead of fat.
Your body's eating itself. Yeah.
It was. And actually I wound up in the hospital in the ICU for 3 weeks and went septic, and it almost killed me because I had a kidney stone that was like that big. It was bad.
Wow.
But I digress. Talked to Flex. He's like, you need to go home right now and eat 3 sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
Just right now. And I did, and literally dropped 5 pounds overnight.
Yeah. Because your cortisol, your body says, oh, we're now getting carbs back.
Yes.
We don't need as much cortisol in the body to break down muscle for glycogen, right? So.
Well, as a female, hormones are, they're very, very sensitive.
Yes.
And so it gave me the fuel that I needed. I was definitely depleted.
Yeah. And when you deplete yourself, that's a stress.
Extremely.
It is a stress on the body. So.
Yeah. And I had, 2 kids they were 3 and 5 at the time. I was working a full-time job.
My goodness.
Doing that and competing. It was a lot.
That's a success story.
I learned a lot.
Being able to win a bodybuilding competition and raising 2 kids and, with all the working you're doing, that's unbelievable. That's really a testament to your discipline. And
it has to be to just be able to, just kind of, let me give this a shot.
It's like, what's your excuse, right?
Now, just imagine maybe I'm being an empath here. Imagine someone who was competing in that show that worked so hard, was like, I need to win this, and finding out that it wasn't that serious for you.
Well, what's funny about that is backstage.
Know.
So there was a lady in my division who was, I think she was a pro in another country. She looked amazing. I honestly was like, girl, you should win. Like, she really did.
Girl, you're going to win this one. And Valerie, the winner. Yeah. So,
I know. Yeah. Well, and then there's a lot of stories. It's crazy. You'll hear a lot of stories backstage. Like, some girls get their shoes stolen, their suits stolen. Some people are just nuts. She got backstage and she because she got second place. She still got a sword and she threw it. And
was just disappointed.
Very disappointed.
Oh my goodness. There was a bodybuilder that basically showed some poor sportsmanship at the Arnold bodybuilding competition. You got to be careful with that. I know we're all very emotional, but it's very important to show, good sportsmanship, even when you do lose, just for sponsors.
Yes, that's why I always, even at a very rudimentary level, whenever I would take on a new client that was like, I want to compete, because they'd been to a show and they see the excitement, the posing, they don't understand what the hard work is leading up to that. And so I always ask them, Please tell me your why. Just like what Simon Sinek says, why? Why are you doing this? Because at the end of the day, it's not worth a $2 trophy.
Yeah.
You have to have a reason. And if you're in a relationship, that person has to be on board with that reason because it's going to be really 100%. Difficult. So tell me why you're doing this, because as a coach and a trainer, I want to be able to support you in that endeavor. But it can't be for a $2 trophy.
Yeah.
It's got to be for something bigger. Okay. Now, granted, there are those freaks of nature, and I had a few of those. Chris, you know who you are. Like, this dude was totally natural.
Yeah.
Incredible athlete. He was an incredible success story as well. Bigger growing up, you know, in high school, struggled with his weight. And then he got shredded, and that kid could literally prep in like 2 to 4 weeks and look amazing.
He'd be stage ready in 2 to 4 weeks.
Yes, and I was like, meanwhile, I'm eating chicken and broccoli thinking, I hate you. But yeah.
So he must stay pretty lean, like just all year round. And so whenever, you know, the call is, you know, boom, he can get ready for a week, start cutting those carbs.
And I had, actually, I had a bikini competitor who turned pro.
Yeah.
Her name's Jade Taylor. She was like that as well. She has an incredible backstory. Her why, so to speak.
Yeah.
But completely different. You know, she was a hard gainer, had trouble putting on muscle.
Yeah.
Very different process for those people.
Yeah.
Very different prep for those people.
100%.
But she kept at it and proceeded, and now has her pro card and incredible physique.
What was the hardest for her? Just all the eating she had to do?
Eating. Well, just the training, the consistent training, and the mental aspect for someone like that. And her why was probably her most difficult struggle. And I've noticed a lot of competitors struggle with that.
Do a lot of competitors have, I was about to say, it's just aesthetics, right? It's just, I look really bad. I want to prove that I look good. You know, I want to, the body dysmorphia, you know, it's funny as they say, it is a real thing. It's you know, with bodybuilders, they say, you know, the bigger you get, the smaller you feel, and the smaller you feel, the harder you train.
It depends on who you're standing next to.
I guess, right. Yeah. But no, the body dysmorphia is very real. And the more you do it, the more, for me, the more it gets worse, where I'm just like, this physique, you know, unpumped, everything just fresh in the morning. I'm like, this looks bad. Yeah. And,
well, as typical competitors, like I said, you know, type A personalities were never satisfied. And then you always want to get feedback from the judges. Yep. And so you're like, well, I knew that already, you know, which goes back to the, you know, the age old argument, well, discipline versus genetics. And then, but then if you have those two things together.
Oh, if to be a bodybuilding champ, you've got to have the genetics. Got to have the genetics, you know, because there's, so.
But like you said, it is a real thing. And also being in the culture of bodybuilding, you get around people that are the consistent training, the, you know, judging themselves, looking at the shape, the perfection. And it's a great thing. It really is a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
If your motivation is where it should be, and if your heart is in the right place, and you find your purpose for that, instead of very much surface level and, I'm doing this.
Vanity.
Yes, because that can only last so long. And it's,
like
I said, it's that $2 trophy isn't going to fill that hole.
Right. Yeah, there's deeper issues at play. And you're just covering it up with bodybuilding.
Yeah. So like when I continued to compete after that.
Yeah.
And the heaviness of what I was doing started to hit me. You know, it really does get to you. And then also I went and competed on a national level, and I placed in the top 10. And after that, I started doing a little bit more research about what does this mean as a career? What do you have to do? And what do you get paid? How do you get paid? How do you get sponsors?
Yeah.
It wasn't for me.
Yeah.
So, but then after I stopped and I focused more on coaching and training other people, supporting other people, I did go through a phase where I was like, oh my God, I'm so fat. I look horrible, you know, and I really had to fight with myself. And I was like, oh my God, like I should have been running around naked, you know, now, you know, I was 112 pounds and I thought I was fat. What the hell was wrong with me?
Yeah, I look good, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all, again, all subjective, all how you feel about yourself and your own skin. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to improve that. But it can get unhealthy.
Yes, it can.
Yeah. Yeah.
It-
So
yeah.
that's why I always asked my clients, what is
The
your
why.
And let's make sure, because it's my goal as a coach was not just to get you on stage, not just to get you to meet your goal, not just for you to win, but to make sure you can have a healthy, consistent, happy lifestyle after all of this. Because
Right.
it's literally a minute on stage.
It is.
1 minute.
It is, and you're the conditions of your body are in some very dangerous situations for that time.
It can be.
It can be the extreme dehydration.
Yeah.
All of that stuff.
That's why it's important to have a coach that knows what they're doing.
Exactly.
That doesn't just get you to the day and says, "Okay, you're on your own," but helps you through the post competition process, mentally, physically, and emotionally.
Right. Yeah. There's so many people that eat like 10,000 calories right after the show and just blow up. Right.
Yeah.
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 So
and then you make yourself sick.
Yeah. How did you eat coming out of the show? So you just won the show.
Yes.
And then were you like, hey, I'm going to just jump into some McDonald's right now, or I'm going to I'm going to be good and patient. And I'm just going to slowly ramp my calories back up.
So at the time, it was crazy. Afterwards, I had a friend of mine go to, God, I love her to death. She brought me a basket of those like cheddar biscuits from Cheddar Bay biscuits from Red Lobster.
Yeah.
Let's go.
They were so good.
Yeah.
And I ate a few of those, and then afterwards we all went as a team. We went to Logan's, and what was crazy is I just wanted a salad, some sweet potatoes. I wanted some salmon.
Yeah.
I didn't overdo it. And when I got back to my hotel room, I had this big like chocolate caramel, because caramel is my favorite. And Easter's coming up. Cadbury has those like caramel eggs. Like, it's so bad. I have no self-control.
Those are calling your name.
Yes. I can't have them in my house. But I had a cake and I didn't even eat it. I didn't want it. Now, not to say that I did during prep have one complete meltdown, and this is a funny story. This is probably about 2 months before my first competition. I was tired. I was training. I was so hungry. My coach had just yelled at me at the time, and there's always a lot of drama.
Oh yeah.
Threatened me, you're never going to win anything, blah, blah,
Oh,
blah. Like,
that intense.
It was bad.
It got that intense?
It was bad. He's no
Wow.
longer coaching. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, that's a little much.
It was completely inappropriate.
Yeah.
Now I know,
Mhm.
I lost my shit and I was like, you know what? Fine. So I literally across the street, I drove to McDonald's. It's funny you said McDonald's. I ate a Big Mac, French fry, like large. I inhaled that thing, not a Diet Coke, a regular Coke. I drove a mile down the road, stopped at a gas station. I had like 2 cupcakes, a Snickers, a Dr. Pepper, like.
Yeah.
I ate it all. And then that night, because I figured, you know what, if I'm not going to, win or he's not going to, fine. I went and had sushi. Like, when I say I lost my shit.
No, that's awesome.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Wow.
And then afterwards, we talked and I was like,
Yeah.
should I tell him what I did?
Yeah, well, I also ate some sushi. I had a little bit of this. And that.
I was like, okay, we're just gonna pretend that didn't happen.
It didn't
it's
happen.
all part of the mental,
Yeah.
But now, as a trainer, you can tell when you've given someone a meal plan. Like, I got to the point where I could look at you, especially my competitors, and at weekly check-ins, and I would know if you did what I asked you to do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have to question you.
I
I would just say, okay, how'd it go this week? How are you feeling?
Yeah.
Like, okay, let's fix these hiccups, because obviously there's a hiccup. Like, are you, hitting a wall 3:00 every day? Is your energy, are you sleeping?
Yeah.
Is there anything in particular that you're craving? Because there's a little, Band-Aids and plugs that you can put in it that will fix that, so you won't have those emotional meltdowns and binge McDonald's.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is you got to put in those like safeguards that prevent you from having those wild swings where you're just like, F it. It is, 3 double cheeseburgers, 2 large fries. And I'm just going, I don't even care.
And the thing is, yes, it tastes amazing, but you really do feel like shit.
Oh, you do?
Because your body has totally
Yeah.
detoxed from all of that. And then
the
you
grease,
eat it
and you're just like, yeah, I gotta go for, yeah. So it's
Yeah.
just,
you feel
yeah,
horrible.
I totally get you. There was one more thing I wanted to ask you about. I saw is this UJam Fitness.
Oh, yes.
So what is UJam Fitness? What can you talk to me a little bit about? Is it like
Sure.
dancing? Is it like Zumba? Is it?
So actually, it is. It is a dance-based fitness program. And at the time, I was teaching at another gym, and the owner was like, "Hey, I want you to come take this. It's new to Tennessee. I want you to get certified." And it is a certification, an actual certification,
Okay.
as opposed to, let's say, Zumba
Let's
is,
just
is a
run it.
license.
Yeah.
I mean, and don't get me wrong, I taught Zumba for years.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful format. UGEM is different in that it was created by professional dancers.
Hmm.
And so I'd been on the Zumba train for a very long time, and I was like, but okay, I'll do it. And then I fell in love with the format because they are, like I said, their heart's in the right place. They are student focused. They're not, oh, look at me, look what I can do.
Yeah.
Look how, great I can move.
Yeah.
They're, hey, how can we help people get healthy and fit and have a great time and have a party? Because really, and this is what I tell my students at Crunch on Bell Road, I tell them it's like going to the club without all the creepers and the hangover. and you can ask Tom, like, we have a party in there. We've got disco lights, but it is it's dance. So it's going to be.
I will say, I was on the treadmill watching, and I was like, that looks fun. And then I'm like, maybe should I maybe look into this? But then I saw some very feminine moves and went, no, not doing it. Sorry.
The hip gyration.
Well,
Tom's
No,
not
it
doing
was
some
there
hip
was some
thrusts.
jazz
Yeah.
hands involved. I'm like,
Jazz
nah,
hands.
not for me. Not for me.
No. It's we do there, and that's the great thing about UJam is the instructors that they choose are all ages, sizes, shapes,
Oh, nice.
races, everything.
Oh, wow.
Which means you're going to reach more people.
Oh, it's more inclusive. Yeah.
Very much. Very,
Yeah.
very inclusive. And that's what I loved about it. But they're also very technical. So for every move you do, even though he says it's very feminine jazz hands, there's always a male option, which I've had a handful of men that come to my class and they love it. There's options, but right now I only have women. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think Tom and
Still
I
not
should
doing
do.
Still not.
We should do one class, the male version of it.
I would love it.
We film it and we throw it on socials.
Well, I'll tell you
You
what,
should.
I'll do it if you do it.
Oh,
We'll do it
yeah.
together and film it.
We'll
Okay.
try our best. Yeah, we'll try our best.
That's
I
all you
think,
can do. That's all
I
anybody
think
can
we
do.
should set something up. So
But that's why it's fun.
yeah.
It is a judgment-free zone, just like
Oh, I
Crunch.
love it. Yeah.
Because it's friendly, it's fun. There's no right way to do it. There are different options. Like I will teach you how to do the step, like in halftime, if you're familiar with the rhythm.
Yeah.
And then there's an option 1, which is a low impact, and then always an option 2, because I'm going to have students there are students in there that have never danced before,
Yeah.
and they look, or feel like they're having a full body seizure, but they're also very, very self-conscious
Yeah.
about that.
It
And
is,
I
yeah.
don't want them to be. I want them to feel like they're dancing in their kitchen. And then I also have my front row divas that are dance majors, and they love it because it's very technical. And UJam gives people options. And you're going to burn anywhere between 800 to 1,500 calories a class, depending on how much.
Ooh.
yes.
Yeah.
So I have a question actually about your class because I've wondered because I've only seen it from afar.
Mhm.
Is so when you have the students in there, right? Like, how do they learn the moves and the routines? Like, is it the same routine every time for that song? How does that work? Or are people
Yes.
just expected to follow you move for move?
Well, it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
Because each instructor is going to have their own, flavor, their own vibe. But the choreography is the same for every song. And my playlist typically consists between 13 to 18 songs, depending upon the timing and how I structure it. But I like to keep the same songs and rotate one new one out per week.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
like riding a bike. It's like repetition. It's like learning how to do a bicep curl.
Right.
Eventually it becomes muscle memory and you don't have to concentrate on, okay, am I doing this right? And you can let go. And then you
Right.
get all those feel-good endorphins, but you're
Yeah.
still exercising.
Okay, I'm getting a
love it.
business idea.
Yes.
Yes.
And then the way, if you're a good instructor, you're going to structure the playlist like it's high-intensity interval training.
So a little bit of rest, up,
Yes.
a little bit of rest,
Yes.
and oh,
Or
look at
sometimes
you.
up.
No rest. This
it
is hell
depends.
class.
Yes.
There's no.
Yes.
Well, that's the thing I noticed. I'm
Yes.
literally like, they don't stop moving
No.
for an
This
hour.
is all up tempo. When do I get to rest?
But I have
When
a
I say
business
you can
idea.
rest.
Oh,
I have a business idea.
I gotta avoid that class.
Yes. Oh, that's a fun class. But there's
Yes.
always options.
I have a genius.
Yes, tell us.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay. We call it mosh fit, and it's you mosh pit at the gym
Yeah.
for fitness.
That's the male version
with
of
rock
it.
music. And,
That's right.
You know what I
we
mean?
Get all the meatheads to
That's
do
like-
it. Yeah,
yeah,
that's,
dude,
you're
you-
too funny.
You
Mosh
start
fit.
getting metalheads in the gym, you know, because they don't play sports ball.
No,
you know,
but
they're
they
too
know
cool.
how to
But
mosh,
come in
and, hey,
mosh in a
they're
safe
exercising.
environment, get fit, take out your aggressions. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there could
hey,
be money
there
again
might be
there.
something there.
Does it come with like helmets, bubble wrap?
Ha 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 ha.
You know what? Maybe everybody's got to wear boxing gloves.
Ah, okay.
Then you can mosh all day.
We're still feeling this one out.
Maybe. I
Okay.
don't. You'll got to check to see if there's a
Mosh
lot.
fit.
Everyone's got to sign a waiver.
Yeah,
That's
I'll
it.
waive her. We got to see if the name's
But
taken.
just
That
Yeah.
sounds like a great group.
Mosh fit.
A great
Mosh
fit.
YouTube channel.
Oh,
Mosh fit, yeah.
mosh fit.
Mosh
Let's-
fit.
all right,
Yeah,
we'll
no,
look
I
into
like
this.
it. I like it.
It's
I
gonna be
like
$1 billion idea, brother.
Yeah, exactly. So, but speaking of men and dancing, how many do you say you get any like men, or is it mostly just women in your classes?
It's about 80-20.
80-20.
typically, yeah.
Okay.
But like for UGM,
Yeah.
it's about half 50-50 as far as their instructors go.
Wow. Oh, for the instructors, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. No, that's super cool.
Mhm. But it started in LA and they just moved to Texas, Tennessee. Now they're based in Las Vegas.
Okay.
And now it's international, like Philippines, France,
Okay. And we have UJAM at Crunch.
Crunch Fitness.
D-
Yes.
Or is it just once a week? Is it twice a
I
week?
teach twice a week.
Twice a week. Okay.
Monday and Wednesday evenings at 6:30.
Monday and Wednesday evenings at 6:30. Okay.
Yes.
We're going to shout that out too. Okay.
And it's called something else at Crunch Fit.
Correct. Because let me explain. Like I said earlier, Crunch started off as a group fitness boutique and then grew
Yes.
from there. So one of the very cool things about Crunch and why their price point's so affordable is that it's proprietary. So all of their group fitness programs, from the HIIT to the yoga to the ride, they are all programmed from Crunch.
And
Crunch
Crunch owns that. Wow.
Crunch owns that. So the structure of my class
Yeah.
is UJAM Fitness. However, it is based off of Crunch's format, which is called So You Think You Can't Dance.
Interesting. And that's where the name comes from?
Correct.
Okay. Wow. That's very, Tom, I think you
so
and
you
I,
think you can't mosh?
I think, well,
I know I,
think,
can't. I don't want to mosh.
so do we have to sign up or could we just show up?
So if you just want to visit,
Mhm.
absolutely come visit. But there's different levels of the membership at Crunch
Yeah.
in order to experience the benefits of the group fitness.
Right.
Like for example, the hot yoga. It's
Yeah.
very popular. Those classes are packed. You have to sign
Yeah.
up online. We have an app to reserve
Yeah.
your spot.
Okay.
And eventually the group fitness classes in the non-hot room will get that way as well as the HIIT zone. But-
Nice.
so we highly recommend signing up online or with the app
Okay.
to reserve your spot. But if you
Gotcha.
wanted to come try it out,
It
absolutely.
could me and Tom be like in the corner. We could film a little bit of the class. We could film like maybe me participating in it or something. I don't know. It's just like
I
some
don't know.
Yes.
promotional. Yeah.
But it should be interesting though for you guys because it's funny. People are funny with dance classes like Zumba and with UGM. They walk in and they always have their spot. They stay in.
Yeah.
So you might have to fight someone for that back corner.
Oh, that's my spot.
That's
You
your
can't
spot.
have that
Yes.
spot. Okay.
I had some students actually come in and put a cone one time.
That-
because
they reserved
that is
it.
my spot.
Well, we'll figure something
Yes.
out.
So
But
how do we get
typically-
like the 15-minute version? And it's like a private, just us.
I could totally do
Oh,
that.
you know what? We
We'll set
could
up
just do
set
a,
up
like an
cameras.
educational
It would
video
be
with
a
her.
day in the life.
We could do something like that and then post it
100%.
up on Crunch if Crunch will want to do
You
that, which
absolutely
they should.
Yeah. Or you could come to class because we
Yeah.
have the lights off. We have the disco balls going, and
Fun.
then you can get the energy that comes with being in a
Yeah,
larger group fitness
I
class.
want to capture this. I think this would be fun. So
Yeah, it's good.
yeah, absolutely.
We just have fun, and I
Yeah,
tell
if,
people,
if
you
only
know,
we had cameras that can handle the low light and
Yeah.
we'll have to find some.
We'll have to find how we can execute that. I think I might know
that
some.
would be great. That
Yeah.
would be fun.
Wouldn't it?
You should come to actually a great one for you to come to would be the Let's Glow Crazy Party. We're gonna have black lights.
And you said that was in May, right?
No, that one is actually at the end of April.
End of April. Okay, let me see what I'm doing at end of April, and that's a glow.
Yep, it's gonna be on a Wednesday night at Priest Lake. It's a Let's Glow Crazy. So wear your white. Your shirt would be perfect.
Yeah, it'll get some. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Priest Lake. Okay, so that's Wednesday night, and then that was at the end of April.
Correct. I believe it's the 23rd. I think it's the 23rd.
Okay.
I could be wrong on the date, but-
23rd or 24th. We'll check it
Yeah,
out.
John. I mean, we could go and we can, we can rep Species Nutrition.
I was thinking we could probably do some cross collaboration. We could get that, and
That would be great. If you guys
I
want to
think it
set
would
up
be
a table,
awesome.
give out some
Yeah.
samples. Absolutely.
I think that would be fun. Okay, well, yeah. Let's talk about that some more. But Valerie, thank you so much for taking your time to
You're
come on
welcome.
our podcast. And sharing with us more about what you do and UGym and all that great stuff.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. We'd love to have you on, later, in the future. So
Well, you guys are definitely going to want to hear about all the great things that Crunch is doing, especially in Cool Springs, and what's coming down the pipe is going to be huge.
oh,
so.
absolutely. Let's do that. Let's keep doing that. So absolutely. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
Thank
So,
you.
All right.
for having me.
Before we wrap up, I
Yeah.
do want to know. So Val, there's a camera right there. That's that's basically your camera. We'd love for you to look at that camera and some kind of encouraging words for someone who may, be on a journey or want to start
Yeah.
a journey. Just something that your heart, a little heart to heart.
What would I say to someone just starting or in the middle of their journey? I would say that don't let the hiccups stop you. Don't let the bad days prevent you. Even people that are discipline is just that. It's hard work in getting back to a routine, but don't let a bad day or a bad decision stop you. Those are just speed bumps. It's not a stop sign. And you just got to run over it and keep going. Because the results will come eventually. So that would be my encouragement, and that you are worth it. You are worth every step, every lunge, every salad that you eat, every healthy decision that you make, even if it's just staying in bed for a day. You are worth it. So.
All right.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Okay, everybody. And that was Valerie Walters. Thank you for watching another episode of PharaohCast. And if you liked it, don't forget to hit like and subscribe on all social media platforms. Catch you in the next episode.